Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the third and the fourth Doctors, and this is the golden age of Doctor Who without doubt. So this is The Time Monster from 1972. This is from season 9. It's the fifth story. Previously, we'd had The Mutants, and the next story after this will be in season 10, and it is The Three Doctors, 1972, 1973, the 10th anniversary story. Now, this is in 6 parts, and it was transmitted on the 20th of May to the 24th of June, 1972. It's written by Robert Sloman. And of course, that name you probably remember, or perhaps you don't, but it is an alias for, yes, Barry Letts. He wasn't really allowed to be seen to be doing scripts, so that's why he used another name. Now, it's directed by Paul Bernard. He previously directed Day of the Daleks from this season 9, that's 972 this. And then the next one he would direct, his last one, would be Frontier in Space from 1973, which is a season 10 story. And I think it could well be the last one with the Master in. Yeah. Right. So we've got the script editor is Terrance Dicks. And you're probably thinking, oh, Terrance Dicks again. Brilliant. And he is brilliant. Fantastic. I just sometimes feel maybe on this episode he slipped up a bit. Maybe because, of course, it's produced by Barry Letts, and he was being the writer as well. There may have been something there. They probably would deny all that, but I just feel something about this script. But anyhow, I won't go into that yet. Now, the locations are Eckfield Heath, Hampshire, and Old Church Farm, Hartley Whitney, Hampshire. So these are the locations, but we've got a lot of studio work in this because like Atlantis, which is filmed obviously in the studio, there's quite a bit of it involved. That must have been certain expense as well as being 6 parts. So it's supposedly it's the final story, and often they try and make a big thing of the final story in terms of how it looks and how it's presented, and I think that's another part of this. So let's get into the cast. We've got Jon Pertwee as the third Doctor, and of course Katie Manning as Jo Grant. Then we've got Nicholas Courtney, of course, as the Brigadier. Yes, so you can tell it's another unit family story. We've got Richard Franklin as Captain Yates, John Levine as Sergeant Benton, and of course Roger Delgado as the Master. Wow, he owns that part, doesn't he? Absolutely. Wonderful actor he was. So sad that he was taken away so young, really. Yeah, I would love to have seen more of him in Doctor Who. Anyhow, I'm going on there a bit. Then we've got Ian Collier, who plays Stuart Hyde. He was in Arc of Infinity in 1983, which is a Peter Davison Fifth Doctor story. And he played Omega in that Fifth Doctor story, yeah. And then we've got John Wise playing Dr. Percival. And he had quite an interesting long career from 1937. And then it's just a mass of TV series and TV films. Then we've got Wanda Moore, who plays Dr. Ruth Ingram. Again, she was from 1965, and her career was again more in TV series and TV films. And then we've got, by heck, we've got a proper big film star. Yes. Do you know what it is? It's Ingrid Pitt. Yeah, Ingrid Pitt. She plays Queen Galina. What an actress she is. Fantastic. And sadly, she's no longer with us either. She also made another appearance in Doctor Who in Warriors of the Deep from 1984. Yes, there we are. But if you look at her films, there's so many really great films. I have to look at a film that I really love, Where Eagles Dare, 1968. And then, of course, Hammer. She is the queen of Hammer. She was The Vampire Lovers, 1970. Countess Dracula. Oh, Countess Dracula, 1971. Brilliant film. And perhaps one of the all-time British horror classics, The Wicker Man, 1973. I mean, she's in that. I mean, she's in Doctor Who. Blooming heck. In Doctor Who appearing. Isn't it great? Fantastic. Wonderful. I love it. So, what is this about? God, 6 parts. I'm not going to go through all that. I'm going to try and sum it up as best I can because it's just too much to go through, really. The story, how it weaves around, and and for various other reasons as well. Okay, it's set the story in a village near Cambridge, and this village is where UNIT have gone along to because there's a demonstration going on about this project with time and moving about things and objects and all that kind of stuff that the Doctor gets involved. So you've got that set where UNIT are. And then you've got also the mythical city of Atlantis. You've got that in as well. Yes. And that plays quite a big part in the story. And all this is linked because the Master is trying to seek power and control over Kronos. Kronos, a god of the Atlanteans. And he exists, this god. I say he, but it's double. It's a he and a she. And exist outside time and space. And the Master wants to get control of them so he can do his usual thing of controlling the universe and everything else that the Master does. That, in a nutshell, is the story. But, of course, it develops and unravels in a certain way. The story with the Master interfering and the Doctor trying to stop all this, and then all the various characters that come to the fore. And that's how the story is. And it's 6 episodes. I'm going 6 episodes, yeah. I think I've got to be honest about this. I don't think it's a good 6-part story at all. It is, actually, I would say it is my worst Jon Pertwee Third Doctor story out of all of them. I think it just doesn't work. The Mutants was better last week, and that wasn't perhaps the strongest. But this one, just something very wrong with it. The script, I mentioned the script earlier. The script is an absolute mess. He doesn't know what to do in terms of its touch with its humour. Sometimes I didn't know whether thinking it was unintentionally funny or whether it was being funny. The acting that the actors, I don't think some of the acting was very good, and the script just highlighted that even more. Um, the whole thing had a very bad feeling about it. The way it was put together, even the direction. I mean, and yeah, it should be Atlantis we're dealing with. Atlantis magic. I mean, normally Doctor Who does all this on its limited budget so well, but here it doesn't feel like that. Even the Minotaur is a disappointment. I love the Minotaur. Who wouldn't love a bit of Minotaur, eh? You know, who wouldn't? But here, it's not good. It's such a shame. And there on the documentary I've been watching, they've got Barry Letts talking about the philosophy of all this, about, and we've got the idea that scientists are discussing time and all that kind of thing, and which is fine, which is great, but that doesn't come very well over at all in this. And the ideas that science comes out of magic and mythology, great ideas to discuss and talk about. You don't get any of that, and he's trying to say it is. And the Buddhist, yes, I can see the bit of the Buddhist aspect, and that has been done better, and it is done better with the Third Doctor. But no, this just doesn't work. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. That's what I feel. And for 6 episodes, it's good when we've got the unit family. As I've said, the unit family is great. All the actors, and it's always good to see Joe and the Doctor together and how they interact, and that really beautiful relationship they have. And yet, some of the script doesn't seem quite there with it, and the story, it should be better. It's almost like it's too ambitious, the story, for what the script can do with it. It really is. And normally Doctor Who, in classic Doctor Who, I'm not talking about we won't talk about the modern Doctor Who, but in classic Doctor Who, that didn't often matter. The script was so important. You were able to overcome so many great things. And I say, Terrance Dicks is normally such a great script editor in this as well, as a writer himself. And I don't know, they feel they must have felt they had to do these 6 parts. They were down to do them. They probably had the budget there, but, the budget is not everything. And the direction, dare I say, I don't think it helps either. It's just so sad, really. But that's it, really. I don't want to sound down. I enjoyed it. It's worth watching. But I think you would perhaps understand where I'm coming from in this. I love the Third Doctor. All these Third Doctor stories have been so entertaining, so good. And then this come along, it just feels that bit more disappointment, which is so sad. We got Ingrid Pitt in this, for crikey, and she's lovely. She's really grand, beautiful woman, and a great actress. And what is she given? It's sad. It's so sad, really. It's like she's been wasted, really. Yeah. Anyhow. This came out on VHS in 2001. Now, they had certain problems with copies of this as well. The quality wasn't very good. They'd been wiped, and they had to use American tapes of this, and all sorts of problems. But they've got over it over the years, and have now, I think, got the best they can for this story. And it came out on DVD, this one, in 2010. And then, of course, on a really good note, Season 9 on Blu-ray came out in Doctor Who The Collection in 2023, last year. Fantastic. So I'll just show you them. we've got here the DVD, which you've seen, the cover on there, but then there's the back here, the back there. There isn't maybe as many special extras on this as much. There's a bit more on the Blu-ray. Then we've got this. It's always nice, always very nice, that. And then the little bit with a bit of blurb about it all. It's always nice. But let's look at this again. We always do, but we will. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely adore these. There it is, all of season 9, which of course includes the Time Monster. Wonderful. Highly recommended. Absolutely love these. And that's it. That's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you want to see all my other Doctor Who reviews that I've done so far, then have a look in the playlists. There's a lot about Doctor Who that I've done. And all the classic Doctor Who stuff that I've been reviewing. Hopefully you might enjoy that. But also look at films and other things that I do, and other TV series and all genres, often with a nostalgia base, and music as well. If you like this particular video, please give it a like. It gets it onto YouTube, and hopefully other people might enjoy this video. It helps with algorithms and all that stuff. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments, and I'll always answer your comments. And buy a Kit Cost note. And that's it, really. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.